A group of teacher trainees in the Ashanti region is calling for a temporary closure of the 46 colleges of education across the country due to the ongoing strike by their teachers. The College of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CETAG, began a strike in response to a dispute with the government over the implementation of arbitral award orders. The trainees have expressed concerns that the strike is affecting their academic progress and well-being. A report by Barry McCoffey Dawson provides more details on the situation.
Rooms in all the 46 colleges of education across the country remain empty. The Colleges of Education Teachers Association has since June 14 embarked on an industrial action seeking the government's implementation of outstanding compulsory arbitration awards. The 8-week-old strike has stalled academic progress and adversely affected students. The teacher trainees who are bearing the brunt of the impasse are left stranded. The coalition of concerned teacher trainees says the strike has left the students stranded and affecting their mental well-being. Opokudia Manuel is the convener of the group.
As a result of this strike action, we teacher trainees and teaching staffs of colleges of education are facing with an unprecedented crisis and misgivings. Our educational journey as trainees is at a standstill, and future of teachers' education and Ghana's development is at risk. The ongoing strike has left teacher trainees of the 46 colleges of education in chaos, stranded and uncertain about our future. Without our tutors, access to relevant course outlines and materials to even attempt self-study has become extremely difficult. The financial burden is affecting our mental health and well-being. We urgently call on the government, stakeholders and well-meaning Ghanaians to help resolve this impasse.
The group is demanding a temporary shutdown of their schools until an urgent resolution is reached.
If government cannot resolve this issue immediately, we demand that the colleges of education should be closed and students be allowed to return home, since it has been more than 21 days without students engaging with their tutors.
The students are also worried over the non-payment of 6 months trainee allowances, which support their cost of living.
What I have right now is our student allowances. Last semester, that was level 300 semester, they were supposed to give us a 4 months allowances, which is almost 1,600 cedis. But as we speak right now, they have made payments of 400 cedis to our various accounts. So we are calling upon Dr. Baud Maumia to also attend to us, so that in this time of hardship, we can also at least get something to eat.
So we hope this message goes far. Barry McCoffey Dawson, Ashanti Region, for Joy News.
We'll see how this particular matter goes, but we'll still be keeping an eye on whether or not these schools will be closed down, and then we'll be updating you. But Razak Swale is president of the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana. He joins us via Zoom. Also, Professor Samuel Atintono is the national president of PRINCOF, and Larry K. Agbado is editor, Teacher Education Journal. Let me start with you. My friend who is the president of the student there, Razak Swale. So these are your colleagues who are calling for the closure of schools. What's your response?
We have written to President of Principals of Colleges of Education, Professor Atintono Samuel, request for the same shutdown or temporary close down of the colleges of education for some reason, because the strike action has entered into the 55th day right now. We are in day 55, and students are still in the colleges of education, left unattended to. And as we speak now, we really can't tell when exactly CETAG will be calling off the strike. Students have been left to their own fate, more specifically level 400 students, and all year group with no academic activity ongoing. You are aware colleges were supposed to resume academic activities on the 9th of June. That just came to face this CETAG strike on the 14th, leaving students stranded with no even reading materials. We fear the academic calendar cannot also be maintained because where we have reached with the strike. The strike has entered almost 2 months now. 2 months are almost off. And from now to the time that the colleges will be going down on September 7th, we have barely a month left. If we want to recover all the lost contact hours using only the amount of time that is left, it will be difficult, extremely difficult to do. And should it be an extension that we extend the the semester so that we can be able to cover up? That leaves the student to a more disadvantaged situation, because this we as students have been in the colleges on the 9th of June to this very time, and then there is no academic activities ongoing. It is not fault of the student that this strike has come to hit at this time, and the students should not be allowed to feel the pain, should not be allowed to go through all the challenges, and no certainty of CETAG strike being called off.
Okay, and how do you intend to make up for the lost days?
Yes, our engagements with stakeholders that are directly involved in resolving the strike action and also ensuring that the colleges are back in session indicates that there is an attempt that we would use weekends and use extra time in order for us to be able to recover the lost contact hours that were lost. But like I said, we fear, because where we have reached, we have barely a month left to stay in college. And the work we were about to do is supposed to cover for a number of periods. For 2 months have already been gone, left with barely a month. Using a month to recover 2 months within this space will be extremely difficult, if not impossible to do.
Okay.
So we fear that if there is even an extension, let's say 2 weeks to come and add, or any amount of weeks that will be adding, that will leave the student to a more disadvantaged situation, because the students have been in school since 9th of June to 7th September, and an extension coming in would mean that the student will have to bear all the harsh conditions of living in order to be able to make up. We fear this is not right to the student, because the student is not the one who has asked for CETAG to be on strike. The student is not the one who has caused all these situations happening in the college space. So it is important that if there is a way, the student will also be asked to vacate the campuses, so that when the strike is resolved, when the solutions of CETAG are being met, the student will be called back to the college for him to be...
Let me bring in Professor Samuel Atintono. Prof, you manage the colleges. Your students say it's time that the colleges are closed down because of the strike, the number of days that the strike has taken. Your response?
Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to our cherished listeners, and to my students and the staff. It is unfortunate that up to this point we still haven't had a situation resolved or the issue resolved. So as principal and my colleagues across the 46 colleges of education, we're all worried about it. I recall that about a week or 2 weeks ago, we have had some engagement with CETAG, and we reached some kind of agreement, and it was our view that with what we reached, by now the tutors would have been back and then teaching going on. Unfortunately, I think they went back and said they consulted their council and they didn't agree. And we've been having some engagement even after that. They are still not yet back. But the good news I think I have is they embarked on this strike based on certain things that I've asked that they wanted. One of them being the book and research top-up that they were not paid last year, which has now been paid across the colleges. I can confirm that from yesterday and today, the tutors have been paid. So that's one of them. The biggest problem on the table is about parity of payment, and particularly the migration. That started on July 29th. We've informed CETAG. They were having mistrust that government would always say they'll do, they won't do. And as principals, we have been part of it and to ensure that it is done. Since 29th, they meet at GTEC every day. And this is how it is done. The universities there are 5 universities that they are going to be migrated along. They started with the University of Cape Coast, which is now complete by today, I would only advise or appeal to CETAG. They ought to be at the place to check for themselves, to be certified that this has been done, and then get back, because we're all worried. As the students are around and they are not being taught, no principal is happy. And of course, I've listened to their letter that they said they have written to me. I just got back to office and had it.
Okay.
I will study it. We'll engage with the government to see what will be the way forward.
But if you say they've begun, that sort of transfer, and that UCC, they've completed that of UCC, they are worried about their colleges of education. Is there any college that has really had this complete transfer?
I am saying that it's a process of migrating the tutors onto the university salary scheme.
Yeah.
And they take them based on the university that you are affiliated to. They started with the University of Cape Coast. Those teachers, colleges that are affiliated to University of Cape Coast. Okay. So the staff of the colleges, that one is completed. So it means that they are continuing with the others. They are not stopping. Recall I said 4 weeks that we need to do this exercise. So my happiness is that CETAG is saying nothing has been done. Something has been done and they are working on it. Everybody is concerned about the situation.
Okay. So the reason I asked the question was because they can check from the colleges that are affiliated to the University of Cape Coast to find out whether or not it is true that they have finished a migration. That would probably inform their decision as to whether they return or not.
I get it well. They are at GTEC. Okay. So if you want to check, they have to go to the committee. It is Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, GTEC, Minister of Finance, Minister of Education. It's a team that is working. It's a technical team. So it is not something that when I say they have completed that, it means that they have to share the results with the college. They can't get that one, no.
Okay.
What CETAG needs to do is to validate by going to GTEC to see its work going on, because all that I hear is they are saying, they are telling lies, nothing is being done. And I'm saying something has been done. The team is working. They take one affiliate university staff or colleges at a time. So per the arrangement, CETAG, PRINCOF, and SENSAC are to meet this team for briefing. Okay. Now I'm sure, I think I spoke to them today. Next week, Monday, we hope to avail ourselves to be, they will present a report to us on what they have done.
Okay, all right. But you won't honor the call by the students that the college should be closed down, right?
I think, as I said, I sympathize with them, but I can't take a decision. I have to work with GTEC and that of Minister of Education. So their letter came in this afternoon. As I said, I'm even yet to read it fully, but this should be rest assured. When we meet, if there's a way out, we definitely will do that.
Okay. Let me bring in Larry K. Abado. He is editor, Teacher Education Journal. So, Larry, you followed this development. Now, the Professor Tintono is telling us that the migration that they were talking about is being done. What are your sources within CETAG telling you?
All right, thank you very much, Amit. So, as Prof rightly said, we've observed that the migration processes have started for some weeks now. But if you interact with the CETAG members, they seem not to have any level of trust in the process going on so far. As you heard Prof say, their rep or CETAG leadership itself have not been in attendance in some of these migration meetings. At a point, they requested for a report, of which I think it has not been given to them yet, because the team also feels that that is not meant to be given to them at this level yet. So there's some level of mistrust on the part of CETAG. They actually don't trust the system. And you see, this whole issue has escalated to the point that the National Council of CETAG is, they look like a group that is really bent on going far with this. And it's quite unfortunate that we have to sit to allow this to get to this level. We're already in the 8th week. The students were supposed to, or the colleges were supposed to go down in the first week ending of September, on the 7th of September. So if we have already done 2 months of nothing, I don't know how they are going to adjust to use just 1 month ahead to clear a whole semester, So it's quite unfortunate that our teacher education institutions have gotten to this level where the students are now also demanding that the colleges be closed down. But the situation on the ground, on the part of the tutors, in fact, it doesn't look too good for now if you interact with them.
Okay. But what if it's about trust and that they do not trust the process? What do they want to see before they can have trust in what's happening?
I think with what they want to see is the first one Prof mentioned a while ago, that they've made one of the payments so far, which is the BRA, the Book and Research Allowance, which they started payments yesterday. I met Prof personally yesterday, and he showed some evidences to that. The bigger one has to do with the migration, and then some areas that they also are requesting for. As Prof is saying that they are asking them to come to the table or meet next week, I hope sincerely that they're able to come on board for such a meeting, because that is one thing that they are not also showing up for these days, because they feel that they've spoken over this severally, they've held several meetings on this in the past year, and they didn't see any results. So it's gotten to that point where sometimes when they even invite them for meeting, they feel very cold attending such meetings. They prefer to even send reps who will not take key decisions at those meetings, but come back and report before they also look into it. So it's gotten to that point where it's quite a critical one now.
Interesting. Prof. Atintono, so how do we address the issue of mistrust on the part of CETAG? Because if they trust the process, all of this will end.
All right. Thank you very much. I think the only way to address it is the evidence. And as I said, the mistrust they had was when we said the book and research allowances have been processed, they said they don't trust it. They were only saying it. Now it is hitting their accounts. Two, they are saying migration has not started. And I said, I have evidence. Initially, I think what Larry said, their member when they said it shouldn't come, it wasn't the case. We had agreed that we should allow the technical committee to work up to some point. Then they should give us a report. They have done that. And next week, I think we should meet them. For me, it is evidence. I'm appealing to CETAG. Do not just say they are doing this, they are doing that. They send all kinds of information which are not actually true. For instance, I think today, I was chatting with one of them. And the issue was, okay, they are doing the migration, but they are not giving them the titles, assistant lecturer, associate prof. And I said, that's not the issue. They went on this migration thing saying that we want parity in pay, in payment, that's salaries of condition of service. What it meant is that even if you are a tutor here and you are having qualifications as an MPhil degree, that's a research master's, and you are in the university, they will be paying you some allowances, and that must be extended to you. And that's exactly what they are doing with the migration. With respect to the name lecturer, senior lecturer, they have their own harmonized documents here which says you're a tutor and that senior principal tutor, chief tutor. For me, what matters most is the payment. So I would urge them for the trust, let them come and be convinced. Let the team that's working on this, they will show them the data.
Okay.
They were requested that the data should be sent to them. Bear in mind, these are personal information. People's salaries, not only you. So you cannot send this data, and it's not done anywhere. Fair Wages and Salaries Commission have never sent anybody's data that they have compiled immigration to. The only way is, please, they should come to GTEC and abreast themselves with what has been done. I think that way it can allay their fears that nothing has been done. A lot has been done, and they need to see it.
Did the teacher you spoke to confirm that he's received payment?
Well, I can, but my tutors are here. I can speak for my tutors in Africa College that they have received. Indeed, I'm one of them myself. So okay. I've seen it, and I've had information from my colleagues in other colleges.
Okay.
Colleague.
Okay.
I can talk for a number of them. They have been paid.
Okay.
I remember there's one college. I think a few of them. Fosu is one of them. We were technical issues. The money didn't go through, but today we're working to resolve that. Okay. And that has been done.
Okay. Larry, I don't know whether you have confirmation that some of them have confirmed to you that they've received the payment.
Not yet.
Okay.
But I think one other issue that they are also very particular about is their July salary. You know, in the earlier meeting that was held between the parties, they had resolved that they will work on their July salary by a certain date. And I think CETAG in a way also didn't fulfill this part of that document.
But they agreed to forfeit that salary for what they were demanding.
Oh no, not that they agreed to forfeit it or they were demanding, but at the point where government intervened through the Minister of Education, Prof. Atintono, and then the Fair Wages and the other stakeholders, they kind of reached an agreement that if they should call off the strike by a certain date and return to the lecture block, then within the time frame, they were going to work on that July salary and pay them back.
But they didn't.
That action or that step government also took by freezing the July salary also went hard on them actually.
Okay.
And
anyway,
didn't help matters in a way. Yeah.
Let me bring in Razak Swale, because Razak, Prinkov is saying that they have to get in touch with CETAG before they can come to a conclusion on what to do next. I mean, it doesn't look likely that they may probably buy into your proposal now. What would you do? Razak Swale, if you can unmute for us, I'll be grateful. Razak, I want you to unmute so we can hear what you're telling us. Okay. All right. So this is where we are. I mean, Prinkov is calling on the CETAG to reconsider, what is happening. And they say that the migration is currently ongoing and that payment for their book and research allowance is also happening. Let's see how that goes in. But I'm grateful to you, gentlemen, for joining us. Now, Professor Atintono is the national president of Prinkov. He joined us. Larry Agbado is the editor-in-chief of the Teacher Trainees Journal. And also, Swale is the president of the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana.